What up, friends?
What up, world? It's your boy Jimbo.
Oh, and the juiciest hog in the West, Whiskey Matt.
Welcome to One Beer at a Time podcast.
What's up, guys? We're out here at Bluewood Brewing.
Back again.
This is Joe's second episode out here at Bluewood.
Part two.
You want to introduce our guest?
Part two with our boy Scott, man. Thanks for having us back, buddy.
Glad to be back, Joe.
Yeah, man. So this is our part two from it's kind of nice, actually, the consistency. You're like 1 week apart. Our weather's still not much better, but at least we're outside this time.
Consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not rain, no thunderstorms, no hits nearby is making our share of pants at that point either.
Yeah.
That's true, because we were out here last time, dude, and the thunder was so loud. I was glad we weren't rolling. It would have had to stop.
Yeah, but that would have been a cool. That kind of would have been a cool vibe.
Right.
So
we're gonna get demonetized before we get monetized.
don't you piss off Garth. You're gonna be one of the bodies. Where are the bodies, Garth?
Can't you only get his music on Apple?
I think Amazon. I think he sold it to Amazon.
Yeah, there's some
Exclusive.
Anyway.
There's some kind of conspiracy there.
So today we're going to do a little mix. Last time you guys just did mead.
So we're back to the homebrew thing. I got a couple more. We got a couple of homebrew batches. We got a batch from you, man. I'm excited about that.
Yep.
But we definitely want to talk a little bit of Bluewood beer this time.
So I'm going to kick it off. I think we're all kind of drinking something a little bit different. I'm going with Bananas and Blow, the Hefeweizen. Oh, God, you motherfucker.
You guys are so cute.
Well, Matt and I both have the Bananas and Blow Hefeweizen. If you have watched any of the show and seen any episodes where we have a Hefeweizen, this is absolutely one of my favorite. This is one of my favorite Hefeweizens, but Hefeweizen is one of my favorite types of beer.
It's true.
I don't know why, but I have this weird affinity for beers that can get that banana flavor right on a Hefeweizen. So Bananas and Blow, simply for me, we've done it on the podcast before. We did it at we talked about it at 9 Mile.
Yeah, National Beer Day.
You were there. Matt was there for National Beer Day. That was where I was first introduced to it. I've bought it several times since then, so you already know it's a strong fuck yeah for me.
Yeah, man, it's a good brew.
Yeah. You want to go or you want me to go?
Tell us what you think, man.
I'll tell you this.
Tell us what you think.
We did mention that I was there for National Beer Day. That is where I was introduced to this as well. And if you remember, that was a huge fuck yeah. That was actually my favorite thing I had that day. And probably like in the top three of like, you guys have introduced me to a lot of beers since we started this, and it's easily in the top three.
Hell yeah, buddy.
That's one of the best ones.
That's a strong endorsement.
And there's not a lot of real good Heffies in our area.
There's not a lot of real good Heffies in our area, and there's also not a lot that are really traditional and achieve that banana flavor just through the brewing process without additives. Where, like I don't want to name names, but there are breweries that are no longer around that we tried early on that they would have cookie flavors or they would have like these banana flavors, and all of a sudden you look at the bottle, you see malt beverage, and you're like,
the malt extract
to get this from the yeast and the barley and all that. That's why I love it. It explains my love for beer through science, that you can achieve a flavor like bananas through not having a banana anywhere near this beer.
Like when my cousin got me a 6-pack of Red's Apple Ale because I told her that I like hard cider, and I was like, you got something to learn. Hard cider is made with actual fermented apples. You can take this back.
It just made me think. I'm like, well, clearly we're fans. What can you tell us about Bananas and Blow, brother?
I'll tell you just from what I've learned from talking with the owners and everything, Cam, Grant, and Jerry, they want to try to make the Hefeweizen as close to like a true Bavarian Hefeweizen as possible. And I'm a certified beer judge, and I've tried like the actual real McCoy from Germany and everything, like the Weinstefaner, the Paulaner and everything. That comes pretty damn close.
Yeah, man.
Hefeweizen became one of my favorite beers over a decade ago. There is one of the oldest breweries in Cincinnati. It's called Moorliner, and Cincinnati is a very German-heavy city. And that Moorliner brewery had a Hefeweizen. The first time I tried it, I was like, holy shit, this is my favorite beer. And last time I went to town, they no longer had it on their menu. They had swapped it out for a raspberry Hefeweizen. I was like, God,
I forgot. That's still a fresh wound too.
Their head bartender was like, I still don't fucking know why we did that shit. This is horse shit. And I was like, well, at least you sympathize with me. I appreciate it. I've been dreaming about this beer for 10 years. I haven't been back.
Can we go to Cincy and do a road trip and check that place out?
I would absolutely.
Yeah,
And you and I can do a Skyline chili dog eating contest.
100% we're doing that.
That'd be amazing content. If you want to see it, let us know.
Yeah. Like, subscribe.
What significant differences that you know of between a German, a traditional Hefeweizen, and like what's popular here in America?
As far as American, like a more of an Americanized Hefeweizen, it's going to be more hops.
Yeah,
it's American. Everybody just associates with us more hops, more booze, more everything. It's just,
that is such and I like that. I feel like we've been talking about this for a year and a half now. I love that craft beer is moving away from that a little bit. Everybody's got to have the hoppiest IPA, but craft beer for so long was obsessed with hops. How hoppy can we make it? What's the ABV? How hard can we? And now we're getting more traditional German beers. We're getting more lagers, more pilsners.
Everybody's going back to the old school. Everybody's going back to basics. I love that. One of the things that I try not to critique the craft beer industry because I'm involved in it right now, but it feels like for the longest time it was always like, who has the hoppiest beer? Like the juiciest IPA, the one that has like no hop beers. You want the super fruity sours and everything. You want the pastry stouts and stuff. It feels like at the end of the day, what do the folks really want? They just want a soda at that point. That's all it comes down to. And now one of the things I love about
not your father's root beer. Not your father's root beer.
Yep, that stuff too. One of the things I love about German beers like Hefeweizen and everything, it's the Germans, they try and go for like they're subtle, they're balanced and everything. It's not so much like trying to go over the top of stuff. They just want that good, they want a good harmonious beer. They want something you can just sit there and just drink and be in peace.
The Germans, known for their peace and for their balance.
Peaceful.
But I 100% agree. I kind of refer to it as like the hop wars of the early craft beer, 10, 15 years ago when craft breweries were popping open everywhere. And the only way that you could stand out was to pack more hops into something. And a lot of those beers weren't even that good. I do feel like our judging of beer has gotten better over the years. But early on, there were just so many beers where it was like, all right, well, yeah, it's another, I like hops. It's a really hoppy beer, but it's not that great. If you pack it with Mosaic hops, I'm probably going to like it, but that doesn't mean that it's going to stand out. You give me a good, crisp, clean Hefeweizen, that's going to stand out to me. We've had so many fucking IPAs, double IPAs, triple IPAs, West Coast, East Coast. I can't remember most of them, but I see Bananas and Blow, and I'm like, I love that beer.
That's actually why they call me Whiskey Matt, just to give you a little bit of background since we're just getting acquainted, is because around that time I should have been getting into beer because all of my friends were like, yeah, try these beers. And I'm not a hophead at all, especially not like these guys. So I just got really into whiskey at that time. The rest is history. Now I'm getting to try a lot of great different beers because of these guys.
I like how it's forced brewers and breweries to get a little more creative too, because now I'm starting to see like there's a lot more purpose. Like you're finding a lot more like red ales that are dry hopped.
Yeah.
So you're using a good hop quality, something that's already popular, without making another overly hopped IPA. It's like, let's take another style of brew and find a way to dry hop it, add something. Since this element
not everything
so popular,
needs hops. Not everything has
when
to have
balanced
hops.
well, like they're like a lot more people are doing with different red ales and brown ales, and I think it's pretty cool. That's a different experience than just a turbocharged hoppy IPA that tastes like kind of any other triple hopped IPA.
Yeah.
Quality over quantity. Every day of the week, I will die on that hill.
Yeah, man.
I love that. And I feel like more, I don't want to say every brewery, but I feel like more breweries, especially the ones that are lasting now, are kind of adopting that idea.
Yeah, well, looking at Bluewood, because Bluewood has Arch City Haze, and that's been hazy. We all know it's a good IPA.
Yeah.
But is Bluewood put out like a bunch of hazies?
They've done like a couple of season ones, but Bluewood's claim to fame when they were just doing the homebrew and kind of getting themselves established. They're big on the barrel aged stouts, but even the ones they still do now on the large scale are still very consistent.
Yeah. Yeah, but see, like my point though, like solid brewery, and cool. So they experiment, put them out sometimes, but we've seen Arch City Haze We've seen it for a good amount of time. It's consistent. It's a good local hazy IPA. It's not too much in any one direction, but the brewery provides an option in that category without then giving you 5 or 6 other ones that are variations of the same beer.
Yeah.
And when you're looking at that on a menu and it's like, dude, they got 4 hazies. How different are all 4 of them really?
Honestly, I feel like the only local brewery that kind of gets away with that because they do quality work, and a lot of it is one-time releases is 4 hands.
Yeah,
they do a lot of
limited release,
super hoppies. They do a lot of collabs, but other than that, like no other brewery, and that's to me is a good thing to see
man.
Those. I don't need your brewery to have 5.
And I've seen it as I've traveled
IPAs.
around, and you go to other breweries, and it's like, when you're looking at the list, like, cool, man. I'm not against your hazy IPA or your West Coast IPA, but you guys have 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah.
That's just part of their regular.
Some of them might have been sitting for a while. Going on the other end of the spectrum, you look at Civil Life, where all they just do is like just classic beer styles.
Yeah.
And whenever there are beer judges have like competitions and stuff, one of the first places they always want to go, Civil Life.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I have nothing but good things to say about the place. The beer has always just been rock solid, just classic, just English, Irish, Scottish, German, or Czech styles, and they just execute perfectly on those.
I love that.
Best Oktoberfest I've ever had, I think. Civil Life.
That's true. They do have a good one.
Yeah.
I mean, and really, is there a better, more traditional English brown in our area? I don't
think there
traditional English brown.
Not that I can think of.
Not that I can think of. No. On that note, Joe, what are you drinking?
I got the Irish Stout, man. Irish Stout all the way, buddy. I really like it. It drinks kind of like you're always talking about people are overestimating the Guinness. If they don't drink Guinness, they think it's so heavy.
Right.
It's not.
Yeah.
This is isn't it right around 5%? I know it's lower.
4.5 or 5.
Yeah,
Might be
so-
a little bit lower than that. Actually,
it's so drinkable.
Low to mid 4s.
And that's what a good Irish stout should be. I mean, everybody, just because like Guinness and other Irish stouts, Murphy's became a big Murphy's guy in the last month because like Guinness was out everywhere. Not to mention the fact turns out genetically I'm from Cork County, and Murphy's is a Cork County beer.
Oh shit! That's
But
awesome.
people look at just this
Cool.
fucking people look at those beers and they're like, oh man, that's just got to be like a loaf of bread in a glass. No, if you drink it, it's really not.
People mistake full flavor with full body. You think because it's heavy on the flavor, as in there's a lot of it, that means that it's heavy on your stomach. This isn't the same as a chocolate stout, a barrel aged stout.
No.
It's not the same experience, but it is really nice though.
Of course, Jim's the example of a heavy body and no flavor.
First of all, I got a lot of flavor. Joe knows how I cook, baby.
Got all them spices.
I got all them spices. I don't cook like a white boy.
What are you drinking on, brother?
All right, so this I'm drinking on is one of their newest releases, their Lemp Lager. End of the day, St. Louis, we're always be we'll be a lager town. We're going to be a fizzy yellow beer. Fizzy yellow beer is never going to go anywhere. Yeah. And this is their take on an American lager, and they hit it perfectly. Just some 2-row barley, so I can't remember if they did rice or corn on this one. Light hopping, everything. Just nice, clean, easy to drink, super crushable.
We might have to try one of them.
Yeah, you got me with corn instantly. I'm like, wait, corn lagers?
Honestly, corn or rice. I like Japanese rice lagers. I love
Hitachino, that's a good brand.
Yeah,
man.
Absolutely.
It just adds a flavor profile.
It does, and it's so crisp and light.
And it's not supposed to, but there's just something special about the beers that use rice in there. I know they say, traditionally German always says barley, water, hops.
Yeah.
That's it. Occasionally some wheat for the Hefeweizens and everything. But even then, still just these even pre-prohibition lagers use a lot of corn in there because hey, it's America. What we got a lot of here, aside from some of the stuff we don't like to talk about, we got plenty of corn.
You can't fit school shootings into a glass.
Okay, yeah, we went there.
This is why we love Whiskey Matt.
2 more Whiskey Matt's going to become Whiskey Mike.
That's where the magic happens.
That's where the magic happens.
Guys, we're going to drink some mead, but should we get another round of brews before we drink some mead? Kind of feel like it's a good idea.
Okay.
We're here. We're at a brewery. We talk so much Bluewood beer. Now I want a different Bluewood beer. Now I think we all need a round of the Lemp Lagers, right?
Lemp Lager.
So stay tuned, friends. We got mead coming up next.